What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're listening, you're watching Sideline Talk. I'm the humble beast himself, Coach Herr. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? It's your boy, the fantasy football icon, Coach Taves, back in the building, baby.
You starting
What it
early.
is, y'all Alice in the place to be.
Early.
First week OTAs here, let everybody know. Fantasy football icon.
I'm just letting them know. Off the break.
Oh man, hey, I listen. I would not coach Tay, but I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to fantasy football, he got some hardware to back up his icon status. The year that he has from that hardware, that's neither here nor there. However, he know what he's talking about. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not because of lack of knowledge. He knows exactly what he's talking about for sure. We got a good show lined up for y'all, man. We're gonna discuss NBA playoffs, and as some of you see, OTAs is here. Yes, football season never ends at Sideline Talk. Never, ever, ever, ever. So we'll be discussing what we expect from OTAs. Coach Saban had some real spicy news over the weekend. So we'll be discussing, his statements. And then also, you know how I go with Sideline Talk, man. The knowledge is going to be flowing. The laughter is going to be flowing. It's going to be a good time, man. So let's go ahead and start things off here. First question. Will anyone?
Look,
you see the shirt,
right?
We see the shirt.
You see the shirt, right? Let me say this. This series was a win-win for me. I'm a Mavericks fan, so if the Mavericks won, that'd be great for me. Everything. But I'm also a Steph Curry fan. You guys know this. I'm a big advocate for Steph. So to answer your question, will anyone beat Golden State this year? I'm not sure, but I can tell you one thing: it won't be the Mavericks. That I can tell you. I was talking in this basketball group that's on Sideline Talk about what the Mavericks lack, and you could see it in Game 2 when they had that big lead, and then Golden State start chipping away, and Reggie Bullock starts shying away from shooting the ball. Finney Smith starts shying away from shooting the ball. They never attacked the basket, with the exception of Brunson in that Game 2, and I was just like, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because they won't attack the basket and they not making 3-point shots. And now Reggie Bullock is scared to shoot ultimately. Reggie Bullock went 0 for 10 last night.
Insane.
Okay. What's his name? Kleber. Kleber went 0 for 5 last night. And he's scared to shoot this series. All right. Then it's just going to be a sweep. And that's just what it's going to be. And they can get some extra rest going into the game. The finals, I mean.
Al, you had some rather, I wouldn't say spicy, but intriguing posts in the Facebook group hashtag Sideline Talk. For those of y'all who just joining, we're discussing, will anyone beat Golden State this year? We have a comment. Shout out to my man Chris. He says maybe a healthy Boston, and that's a big maybe. But before we go ahead and break that down, Al, let's talk about it, man.
I like the consensus speech that Coach Tay just gave. It sounded like Luka in his press conference yesterday. Luka talked about the offseason already. You got one more game to play, buddy. Possibly 2, possibly 3, possibly 4. But he just already conceded. So I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, like I said, leadership is a skill. That was the post that I put earlier today in Facebook group. And it's not necessarily a shot at Kevin Durant. It's more so a shot at his running mate. Because I was told all year by some people in this group that Kyrie Irving is the most skilled point guard. Well, leadership is a skill. And he left a leader in Steph Curry, who was about to take his team to the finals, to go to a person named Kyrie that cares nothing about anybody besides Kyrie. I've said it. I said he was flaky. I said it when that shit happened. I called it the flake and cake connection. Now, if you look at the Temptations, they had a little miniseries back in the day. And when they were performing on the Dead Clock show, it was the nigga who left the group that was watching them mad at the bar. That's Kevin Durant. If he ain't got a burner account by now, that nigga about to create one.
Not David Ruffin. Not David, man. Not David Ruffin, Al.
Oh,
I mean, I see a comment
God,
on here that says it's a stretch to say Steph is taking them. I mean, they had a top 5 pick when Steph was out. I mean, it may not be Steph taking them, but when he there, they get in the finals. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen.
But he there, they in the finals. With or without KD. Like I said, he signed his name at the bottom of the birthday card, and that has nothing to do with his skill. It's just, nigga, you signed your name to the bottom of a card that was already there. It's already created.
There's so much to respond to in
There's
that.
so
You made
much.
a 73-9 team better. That's a testament enough to your skill right there. You had 9 years of dealing with Russell Westbrook. I dealt with Russell Westbrook for 6 months, and damn near halfway out on the Lakers just because he got Westbrook. So I get it. Not a knock to KD at all.
So
But you signed your name at the bottom of the birthday card because it was a cake and a card already there, and you made it better.
it is a lot to discuss. I refuse. Like I'm upset. I'm thinking the leadership thing was going to be like something to big up Steph, to like another shot at Luka or something.
No, I don't got no shots at Luka to done.
This man talking about Kyrie. Come on, man.
They was out 2 rounds ago.
Right. Kyrie home playing GTA. He talking about the good old days. Like, come on.
Come on, man. His man back on a reservation, bro.
But Steph Curry is a leader, a
Steph
big
Curry
leader.
is definitely a leader.
And his leadership, and because of his leadership style, and he's very skilled at it, as you're talking about. But his leadership style, in my opinion, is why when Angel says it's a stretch to say Steph is taking them to the finals. Golden State is a machine. I get that. Mm-hmm. It's a well-run organization.
That's but leadership as well.
If Steph wasn't the selfless leader that he is, it wouldn't be as smooth as they make it out to be.
Right.
So,
and that speaks to leadership as well. I mean,
yeah,
it's a stable franchise, and like I said,
now it is. Yeah.
Right, but since they had Steph and Mark Jackson started it, he created the base. I'm not going to leave out Mark Jackson, but Steve Kerr carried on that stability.
Right, like it's beautiful. I personally don't think. Well, I'm struggling because I don't think nobody's gonna beat Golden State. Let's just start there. I think Golden State wins it all. And the reason is because the way the game is played, when you look at the 4 teams that's in it, the strengths and the way their play style is, and the way the game is officiated, they're not going to beat Golden State. Because everyone loves to play small ball. If you look at the best lineups, Miami's best lineup, and they won 2 days ago, they were extremely small. You had Kyle Lowry, what's the young boy? I forgot the young boy name. Jimmy. Jimmy was still in at the time. Bam, and I think it was Oladipo. That's basically 4 guards and Bam. Now, granted, Bam is more of a rim protector, so him protecting the rim against like Golden State would be better than what Dallas offers, because Dallas ain't got no rim protection whatsoever. But I just think the way the ball moves around, the way Golden State gets in the lanes, come off pin downs, the inside out, like it's too much for Miami. And size wise, Looney, you get Kuminga, who ain't really been playing this series. You can throw a couple bodies at him to switch it up for Miami. And I don't think they can match up well. Whereas Boston, they can match up size wise. I just think they don't have enough firepower. Because they showed like not only is firepower, but they showed they're banged up one, and then two, it's like they're hot and cold. It's like they start up, they start down. Like they go through little lulls and stretches where it's like, bruh, they like starting to unravel. And then something happens and they picks it back up. But I don't think you could do that too often against Golden State.
They technically only had 2 bad quarters, and those 2 bad quarters actually is why Miami is ahead, because they just fell down early and they just could not overcome that. So I don't know. I don't think Miami has enough firepower besides Jimmy, and Jimmy having a flare up in his knee. I don't think they have enough firepower at all.
I agree with that. As far as in this series, I picked Boston to beat them. But as far I'm just looking at both teams, if they were like making a case for both teams against Golden State.
That's what I'm saying. Against Golden State, I don't think besides Jimmy, Miami has enough firepower. Maybe from what I'm looking, because Bam finally had a great game. Now Bam can probably keep that going because Golden State front line isn't.
Yeah. I was saying from a rim protection standpoint, like having somebody at like Bam inside, Golden State can't get into the lanes as easily as they do, especially in this Dallas series, because it's like the Dwight Powell ain't trying to block a damn thing.
Well, Dwight Powell's not on the court,
and when it's like he's still ain't on the court.
Well, that's because they put him in a high pick and roll situation where he has to come up on Steph, which everybody has to come up on Steph.
Got to.
Or he going to shoot it, right? But my thing is, if you're going to have, what's the point of having Kleber on the court if he's not going to shoot?
It's pointless.
And what's the point of having Bertans on the court if he's not going to shoot? So at that point, you put Powell on the court, and that helps you out offensively, in my opinion, and it helps you out defensive board-wise, because Kevon Looney's killing them on the offensive board. Whether it's tip outs, whether it's offensive rebounds, whether it's getting inside, making plays in the paint. Powell could essentially help you with that, but he's not playing. And not to mention, offensively, Powell can help you in pick and roll game get more penetration inside. So how many times have we seen Powell catch lobs from either Brunson or Luka this year, or whatever the case may be? To me, that's the key to beating Golden State. You have to penetrate and get them into foul trouble and put yourself on the line, especially when you're shooting 30 to 35 threes a game and they not dropping for the other guys. So if Bullock's not hitting threes, if what's the other guy, Finney Smith not hitting threes, it's kind of a wrap. Like, even with Brunson playing as well as he's playing, it's kind of a wrap for them. So the only person that, in my opinion, that can beat them is a healthy Celtics team, because all of them can get to the rim at will. Jaylen Brown can get to the rim. Marcus Smart can get to the rim. Light-skinned Yo can get. Tatum can get to the rim. And then you got Horford as well that can be a presence inside for Boston. That's how you beat Golden State. The reason why Golden State was in trouble versus Memphis is because when Memphis started penetrating and kicking and dishing, Memphis was hitting wide open shots. You got to be able to hit those shots against Golden State to match what they do.
And not to mention, I don't know if you guys seen the pregame. They showed Jason Kidd, breaking the game down by the numbers and saying we have to get in the lanes against Golden State. And I thought it was like a chess move by Steve Kerr to come out with like some type of like a matchup 2-3 zone where they blitz, they blitz Luka at the top, but then had the three players back to guard the rim. Essentially, that would slow up the thought process of attacking the basket. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like you seen in the game, like once Dallas swung the ball around, attack got in the lanes, it was success. Whether it was a wide open three, whether it was a layup, it was successful. Then he went through laws when it was like they can't attack the basket for some reason. And it's ridiculous. Like you don't attack, you're gonna lose. That's simple basketball, to be honest. That's not the recipe to be Golden State. That's just the recipe to be successful and to be multiple. Rock says, if the Heat won, it'll be better for the Warriors because they can play the actual lineup they want to play. The Heat are completely too small. Absolutely agree. Yeah, we're all on the same page. Boston is the best matchup.
Miami's the best matchup.
The Laker and you say Miami's the best matchup. I understand. Like, I think, like, if that happens, y'all think that series will go 7? Boston and Golden State?
No, like you said, they're too beat up.
Yeah, I don't know what the injuries.
Yeah, Smart and Tatum out, right?
Well, they playing.
They playing, but they like
hurt.
nagging. Like, you know, depends on these little nagging injuries. Same thing with Jimmy and Hero.
And
Kyle Lowry's out tonight.
Tyler Hero's out tonight. Yeah. So that's a good transition. Who's that? He can play. They can't play zone. No, they can't play zone against Golden State. They're way too small. Way too small to play zone. Like Boston. Boston can play like a matchup zone against Golden State because they have the defenders and they have the size. But will they make it to the next round? And that brings us to the next question. What does Boston have to do to win tonight? We got word earlier today that Tyler Hero is out for the game tonight.
They got to lock in. I'm sorry, I mean, if you want to take this, say, but they got to lock in. Like I said, they've only pretty much played bad for 2 quarters out of the 8. It just so happens that those 2 quarters they played horrible, and you can't pick a worse time to have a bad time. Like, these are the finals. Like, I mean, not the finals. These are the Eastern Conference Finals. Your chance to get to the finals. When you have that home court advantage, you can't come out that flat. And y'all had them down when Jimmy Butler was out. When Jimmy Butler was out, y'all had him down. So y'all got to close the deal.
Nigga said Jimmy Smith. Nigga, he gonna retire.
He can be back.
My God. Oh man! Shout out to everybody that's on the chat, man. That's on the live. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Justin with that to keep that same energy podcast. We're gonna be linking up real soon. Y'all see Justin? He'll be a resident in Sideline Talk. We'll be linking up real soon. Oh man! So if y'all just tuning in, we're discussing. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing what does Boston have to do to win tonight. John, you came on the scene. Say it again.
I just think they have to not settle. You can't not settle for 3-pointers. Like to me, you got to attack the basket. You attack the basket and you put the pressure on Miami. And I think another thing they have to do is you got to slow the game down. Miami has a way of just bombarding you with. They got that emo shot quality that Golden State has. Like Golden State hits emo shots, and you just like, all right, well, what are we gonna do now? And sometimes that can be Miami as well. So I think Boston, you slow the game down, but you also attack the basket and you stay aggressive. And you try to put them in situations where they have to either make a decision to either cloud the key, and then you can kick out and possibly hit your shots.
Okay. So we got John. What you thinking?
Al Horford got to have one of his little light up switch games. That's the only way they're gonna fucking win. Because if Bam keep doing what he doing, they just don't stand a chance. They too fucking small. They keep getting out rebound. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown keep turning the ball over no matter what series they in. So and you can't do that versus Miami. So no matter the lineup, if Lowry starts hitting and then African he figure out what he needs to do in that lineup,
Oh, man.
Miami gonna be crazy. Do some damage.
Is Africa your Vic?
Yeah,
Yo, shout out.
You should know him.
Shout out to my man Oladipo. Like Oladipo had a hell of a game the previous game.
Yeah,
Hell of a game. Like they don't win without Oladipo for sure.
I was always a fan of Vic, even in his Orlando days. So
Yeah.
but even with Bam having like slow game 1 and game 2, he was very efficient. He did what he needed to do, and when they called his name for game 3, he balled out. And if Al Horford can't stop him and can't control that, or whoever's supposed to play him at that position, they're gonna get fucking washed. If they're gonna keep turning the ball over, they better hope. Only way Boston's gonna win this game is Al Horford have a 20+ point night and they control the rebounding. I'm just saying.
All right. I think well, Rock says start the little white guy. I think he's talking about Pritchard. Love his energy and the fact that he can create for others as well as make shots. I could see him starting. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. That's another player I told you about a couple years ago that the Lakers should draft, but that's neither here nor there. You know how that goes.
drafting nobody till 20.
Hey, when we had picks, you know how that go. When I kept telling you these guys, and then look, Desmond Bain, Peyton Pritchard. See, neither here nor there. Whatever.
I mean, we ain't got picks though. Russell Westbrook's grandkids is in the goddamn league now, so
right.
I don't give a damn about no draft.
I think Boston simply just has to play that game. The fact that Hero is out, Jimmy didn't finish the previous game. He's going to try to play today. If Boston can just play their style, take care of the basketball, and take advantage of mismatches. Like Victor Oladipo has been playing well. However, he's still recovering from his previous injuries. I think they attack the paint, see more instead of a lot of ISO ball. I would like to see Tatum like a mid post area where he can just really thrive right then and there and create for others. Still, Pritchard will be a good addition because he can move out the ball as well as bring it up and create. So I just think Boston is lining up for Boston to just play their game and win tonight. Simply because one, they are the better team, and just for tonight, they're the healthier team. I think. All right, moving on. Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. We heard Saban's comments. Although Coach Saban's delivery was wrong, does he have a point about NIL deals?
I'll go first. Look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You cannot. The Alabama Crimson Tide has been exploiting the recruiting process for years and beating everyone in it. Now, soon as the playing field becomes even or everyone else has a chance to get recruits by other means, whatever means it is, whether it's legal or not, you can't complain now, in my opinion. You had plenty of opportunities to get. You got the same opportunities everybody else have. The playing field's even. So do what you got to do or shut up about it. But don't sit here and try to current this situation by complaining about the fact that everybody else has a chance to get other recruits now. And I've seen somewhere that like eventually, if you had the number one recruiting class, you will be in that top championship contender list now. Like, so everybody else has that chance now. So don't complain about it. Either find a way to get your players some NILs or shut up. And that's just my opinion on it. I don't like how I'm trying to say be real smart about the way I say this to not come across as as ignorant.
Almost.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. You can't complain now. And I think he's trying to use his influence to get something changed by throwing it out there in the media. That was very strategic by him. It was not something he was just asked the question about and he just said something. That was strategic. He came in there with that on his mind to say and to try to get some influence across the board from NCAA.
I like how you said that, and I like how Coach Prime responded to it. Shannon Sharp said he called them up, and Shannon Sharp was more pissed off about what Nick Saban said than Prime was, and Prime was saying he wasn't talking about me or talking to me. He was talking to his boosters, his recruiters, trying to tell them to spend more money because Texas A&M, Texas is wealthy as hell when it comes to oil. So now you got to contend with Texas A&M, you got to contend with LSU, you got to contend with all of these schools around you that can get that leg up that you always had legally now. So you got to actually do more work than what you had to. So yeah, you got to reach out to your boosters and say, hey, we need this money. They're getting $1 million for a quarterback. I'm just throwing around figure out there because he said that's what the Jackson State recruit got, which both has disputed, Prime and the actual recruit himself. You're getting $1 million quarterbacks. So what Nick Saban was saying wasn't necessarily wrong or a point about the NILs. It's a point to his boosters. Hey, we need more money.
So before you jump in, John, I'm Nick Saban. If I correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds all right. He broke down what NIL was, what it was meant to be. He was saying that one, they have 25 guys on the team this past season who have NIL deals. And what it was basically like a job almost like guys have the opportunities to make money off their image, from autographs, jerseys, whatever. And he's all for it. And then he went on to say that he started talking about a collective that schools have where they get money from boosters, and then boosters, they put money up, and then like the whole program is equal. They split the money, each player, whatever. I'm paraphrasing it a bit, but it seems like his biggest beef was schools are taking that collective that was like agreed upon and using that as if it was NIL. So during the recruiting process, it's like, oh yeah, well, one, you can make money in NILs, but we can also offer you this amount of money. And then that's kind of like, that's not an even playing field, is what he's saying. And it's like in my opinion, it seems like you dipping from two pots. You get your NIL bag, and you can get a bag on me if you come to my school. And then like if say a booster pays, like you mentioned, Al, $1 million for a quarterback, and say the quarterback doesn't play year 1, year 2, and then he transfers, then you can be sitting like, yo, bro, I gave $1 million for nothing.
I mean, that's what my biggest
process. That makes the whole recruiting process, terrible.
That's where my biggest. I'm sorry, my fault. That's where my biggest beef with the NIL lies. Actually, is with the transfer portal, not necessarily NIL, because you can transfer at any time. Like it's wide open. You literally can transfer a week before you play a team. Like you can transfer from Michigan to Ohio State a week before you play them, and there's no rule stopping that.
That's true.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the risk you're willing to pay. Like, and come on, Coach Saban. This is not. Come on, you ain't got all them recruits. Honestly, Let's just be real.
You mean you ain't never wanted to go to Tuscaloosa?
Who the hell want to go to Tuscaloosa?
but let's be fair. Let's be fair. All right, shout out to Rock. He said, first time viewer, something good, something original. Keep props, respect, keep it up. We appreciate you, man. Black ESPN, I like it. Definitely appreciate you, man. But this, like, what Coach Saban offers, that's different from other Power 5 schools, in my opinion, since he's been in Alabama, is if you come there, there's more than a 60% chance that you're going to be a better football player and you're going to get drafted. And they have resources, around the school that fits. Like you hear from the alumni, they're like, yo, this is basically the NFL. You got this, you got the trainers, you got the programs, then you see the barbershops, you got the leisure stuff. Like, not everybody is giving you that luxury. And access because you're Alabama.
I think all of the other SEC schools offer that as well, though.
But that's the problem. Hold up, but this is the problem. Though. But this the real issue at the end of the day, because Dion was talking about this shit even last year about how the transfer portal was bullshit and how it's ruining kids' recruiting process, and they don't have the real luxury of like drawing just teams wanting them for them. But I don't even look at it as a Saban thing, because Saban still gonna get his fucking players. He's still gonna be top 5 recruiting class or whatever. Should he just said it? No. Another coach who has nowhere near the capabilities of Alabama, Ohio State, USC, Texas, to that standard of the NIL rule. I mean, how can you recruit? How can you keep up? How can you say that you're going to be actually be a playoff college team and have to compete with the SEC or any other school? Nobody's going to go to fucking Minnesota and be like, yeah, we can change this whole narrative, or any other school that you can think of. No, they're going to go to the top 10 schools. They're going to get paid, however they're going to get paid, under the table, and they're going to look the other way. It's just whatever the boosters got to do, what they've been doing, now they're going to do a new creative way with the NIL. It's going to be done until somebody step in, and this shit ain't going to change. When a new rule going to get implemented, they're going to do something else under the table. So it's just going to be a revolving door where the rich keep getting richer. So I don't think Nick Saban should have had something to say about it. I said another coach should have said something about it and pointed out everybody. Somebody should have called out Nick Saban or the other big high coaches. That's how the shit should have went, and then would have looked at it way different. It just looked like Nick Saban was just crying about some bullshit and he was being a pussy at that time.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Nick Saban has the second highest recruiting class. He's number 2. He was crying because Texas A&M was number 1.
Well, I agree with John.
His staff had the number 1, and you got mad about it. Like, come on, yo.
This NIL deal is what they saying now. It's been done a different way. Like you said, whether they using that money, they double dipping. Okay, well, it's been happening forever, and it's going to continue to happen. I'm hoping that Mario Cristobal can get some of that, get in Miami, get some of that, that double dip going on. That's all I'm hoping. That's all I'm saying. Come on, Mario, get in there, get some NILs or something.
Oh, so what y'all think about Fisher's comments though? Especially, how Fisher said, specifically when he said that you guys, hold him in such high regard, he's on your Mount Rushmore, but start looking into his background, how he got players. Like, I thought that was interesting because Jimbo was on the staff.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute.
You dry snitching bitch.
Hold up.
That's what you sound like.
Like, Saban, you gonna snitch on us? I'm snitching right back. Like,
I know where the skeletons are buried. Like, you don't try to call me out on that.
Yo,
that's my point. Crazy. That's my point. It's been done, and it's gonna continue to be done. That's why I ain't buying the whole Nick Saban saying this thing. Because Nick, you done some stuff. I need to hear Jimbo Fisher say that for me to know Nick Saban doing some stuff.
I mean, I've been calling Nick Saban for years because he's been doing some underhanded stuff. I know.
Right.
And
for years.
And as far as his character is concerned, okay. I mean, it is what it is. You don't get to be successful like that and not have that type of character. That's just what it is.
Right.
Or come across as having that type of character.
I don't think anybody is going to actually do what Jimbo Fisher said and look into it. CBS gets paid too much money to put Alabama games on Saturdays and then turn right around and have Tony Romo on Sunday. They damn sure ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, they damn sure ain't trying to, put Florida on TV every Saturday.
We on TV every Saturday, goddamn it. At CC Network. Tim Tebow. Shout out Tim Tebow. If Tebow ain't had that deal, boy, we'd be in trouble.
All right, man. Like I said, OTAs is here. But before we start talking about the home teams, OTAs, and everything, what NFL games are you most looking forward to this season?
Well, I'm not trying to bring the home team up, but I'm literally looking forward to the Bengals Ravens game. Okay. Last year was a fluke. Last year was this. We wasn't injured. I mean, we was injured. Oh, okay. Let's see where we at now. I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to the Rams and the 49er game. Bosa should be back healthy this year, right? I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to y'all gonna think I'm crazy. But I'm looking forward to the Jets Miami game. I want to see what the Jets players got. These new Jets, I want to see what they got. I want to see what type of mindset Robert Salah is bringing into that team. Even with the young guys, are they going to be ready to go? So I'm real anxious to see the Jets play.
I mean, that's not too crazy, man. The Jets been making moves.
Also, I think both of their offenses are supposed to be improved now. So with new coaches, well, second year coach and the first year coach.
It's all about the development of Wilson. The jump he takes from year one to year two, because you can have so many guys in place, but ultimately they go as far as he go. I mean, you could try to follow the method that San Fran does to make them successful, and depend on the run a lot more. San Fran, Baltimore, Seattle, if you will, those three teams in particular usually get the stigma that they run the ball more than others. You could try that with Wilson, but he still had to air that thing out and develop. So I'm with you. I'm looking forward to that game as well. Shout out to Remy, Ravens Saints.
He said he looking forward to that. That's because he gonna be in the building.
Yeah, he gonna be out there.
Remy, down the street.
Yo, we need to come down and highlight with Remy down there, man.
Hey, Remy, first drinks on me when I get down there.
Remy said Roger Goodell must hate the Jets. Look, I didn't see this. Look at that opening 9 weeks, bruh.
I think every game is brutal for the Jets though, because it's the Jets. But let me beat the schedule.
Hold up.
That schedule is just brutal.
But see, me, I would, as a coach, I'm using that. I want that schedule. We the ones got something to prove, not anybody else. So this is an opportunity for us to go out here and prove something to the league that we are not the Jets of old. We're a different Jets team. And that's why I said I'm looking forward to the mindset, to see the mindset that Robert Salah brings in. If he comes out and they're not trying to run the ball and slow the clock down and all, and they're being aggressive and they're taking chances with Zach Wilson, then I'm all for it. That's how you change your narrative about your team. That's how you change what my team used to be, what y'all thought my team was. You come out with a different narrative and a different mindset. So that's why I'm interested in seeing. If not, then there's no point in him being there, because you could have did that with Adam Gase as your coach.
Right.
I like Salah, but they gonna be looking to scout 5 bye week. That's all I'm saying. They schedule look a real top 5, top 3-ish, if you will.
It's the first 9 games. You got Baltimore, then you go to Cleveland, then you come back and play Cincinnati. Then you go to Pittsburgh. Then Miami. Then you go to Green Bay. Then you go to Denver. Then you come home, play New England, and then Buffalo. Then you get a bye, and they come right back and play New England. That's
It's no better way. It's no better way.
I love it.
There's no better way to prove yourself.
Only thing you proving is you're gonna get some nice tickets to them games after like week 3.
Speaking of them tickets cheap for week 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, Remy said he likes Salah. In fact, Rock, you trolling. Talking about Eagles to the Super Bowl. I ain't even doing that one.
I like the moves they made though.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
they got
Eagles to the top of the
solid
NFC
moves.
East. I can give them that one. I ain't gonna say Super Bowl.
Ooh.
New York is making some really good moves, man. Like, I hope they do well. And this is like the year they set it perfectly for them to do well this year. Like everybody has the for some reason, everyone has the Bills on this pedestal where they're like 2 games better than everybody in the AFC. And then it's like, all right.
And that's the games that I really want to see is week 1. You started off. You got the Rams. Everybody wanted to believe that she's supposed to be in the Super Bowl or and be a champion because of Josh Allen. What you gonna see?
Statement game. How y'all doing? I'm everybody. By the way.
But can you really learn too much in week 1 from a team?
Yeah. You can definitely learn your mindset. You got from now until September to put your game plan in. You better not come off flat.
I mean, outside of that, you prepared or you didn't prepare as well or you didn't perform to the degree that you prepared. But other than that, what else can you learn from a team in week 1?
I'm gonna learn how to
learn approaches.
Approach.
You can learn the mindset of a team in week 1. Well, then again, they can also revert back. Like we thought when the Ravens played in Miami and they came out guns a-blazing, oh, that's the team we're going to be now? And then, lo and behold, we changed back. So, I mean, if a team can keep the mindset, you can learn a lot from the teams, like how they're going to approach the season.
I mean, with the Bills, what I'm interested in week 1 against the Rams is what did Brian Daboll bring to your offense? I think Brian Daboll is a great offensive coach. Was he your offense, or did he help elevate what your guys already could do? And now, they take that and infuse a new offensive coordinator that's been there already and just continue on that same elevation. That's what I'm looking forward to in week 1, especially against a top coach in Mike Shanahan.
Yeah.
And
That's
shout out to his black defensive coordinator. I forgot his name too.
Raheem Morris.
Morris, there you go.
But
get him and Bowles mixed up.
You bring up a good point about the offensive, coordinator change, because I was in the same boat last year with Tennessee, because Arthur Smith got the job down in Atlanta, and they just promoted someone from within. Tennessee offense, it's pretty much the same thing. They didn't seem as explosive as the year before, but it was solid. So typically, I would think Ken Dorsey can do a pretty good job, stepping in for Daboll in Buffalo. Remy said he said we're going to learn we can still option. We still think we can option our way to a Super Bowl. I want to see.
Don't start.
I want to see how the Colts offense and the Chargers defense look. Very, very good. Let's start there with the Chargers defense. Adding John's favorite player, his favorite pass rusher, Khalil Mack.
That motherfucker don't have more than 12 sacks this year. I ain't gotta say shit. I'm just gonna look at y'all like, told y'all.
So what you mean?
To me, the pressure on Joey Bosa. It's not on Matt.
I think it's on both of them, actually.
To stay healthy?
To stay healthy and produce. Like, Joe, you the one got paid all that money and by the Chargers. You got to produce at some point and stay healthy and produce. Derwin James is healthy finally. Like, I mean,
Can he stay healthy?
Can he stay healthy?
That's the nigga who with most pressure, Derwin James.
Yeah, because I mean, his pay period should be coming up, right? Like, I mean,
well, yeah, he same draft as Lamar, so he's about to go to that 5th-year option.
Yeah, so I mean, look, if you want this money, son, you have to step up too.
Because you look at that defense, man, they're loaded on all 3 levels. Just a matter of if they put it together.
And if they don't put it together, what happens to the coaching staff?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He's right, ain't he? Oh, my bad. I mean,
yeah, I know.
I mean, even if he was black, like, you really looking to move him after 2 years?
What was that man in Arizona name? We don't even remember that, right? Huh? Said the black man that was the head coach of Arizona. They got run out of town with him and Josh Rosen.
Oh no! Listen! No, wait! I know how they do us. It's not right. We understand that, but I'm just saying for coaches in general, like how you can really expect the team to go from lottery pick to Super Bowl in 2 years?
I ain't saying Super Bowl, but
we ain't saying Super Bowl. We saying reach the fucking playoffs.
Right? You got.
They had the playoffs, but I mean,
they had it, and then they lost it.
What, NFL still doing play-ins now?
You're right.
Like I said, they had 2 options. You could either win it or tie it. The nigga chose option B, what was losing.
You're right.
They definitely stacked, though. I mean, like you said, I mean, you got J.C. Jackson and Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James, and Adderley. And you got Kenneth Murray Jr. at inside linebacker on the next level. They stacked defensively. But here's the crazy thing. They stacked offensively. Like, I mean, so
who's the best?
They have no
excuse. You got Austin
Eckler. Eckler and who else?
They got
Isaiah Spiller. They just got Spiller.
Spiller, yeah.
And you already had Josh Kelly, too. So it's like.
And again, you got the golden head, golden arm quarterback that everybody want to, crown as the next greatest, including myself, because that's one of the Pac-10 quarterbacks that I think I got right. Is Justin Herbert. I think he is amazing. You got to get to the playoffs with this squad. You can't have a flame out at the end this year. You can't.
Yeah, and the way the AFC is looking, 10 wins ain't gonna cut it.
Hell, the way the AFC West is looking, 10 wins ain't gonna cut it.
That's on paper. I'm not buying none of that Denver Bronco mess.
Yeah.
I'm not buying Kansas City without Tyreek until you prove it. Prove it.
I don't believe all that. I believe a lot of teams in that division didn't do what everybody think they did to outseek the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City got better defensively. They got worse offensively.
You can't get worse offensively with one of the good offensive coach. What you think he's gonna do with Schuster in the slot? What you think they're gonna still do with KC?
Look,
Kittle said that he was one of the most underpaid weapons in the league, and you think he ain't gonna get open?
Bro, it's not about that. Schuster can get open within 15 yards. Tyreek is a difference maker. Tyreek is open before the snap.
So
I'm sorry.
You're 100%. You're 100% correct. So he's not going to go from the 30-yard line, home run with Kansas City. They don't have that luxury no more. But can they nickel down the field and make sure that nobody can stop them? Yes. I mean, how many defenses in that division did you really trust to get to him in time before Patrick Mahomes was going to get that ball in his hand? He already averaged 2-3 seconds getting the ball in his hands. Now with that revamped offensive line with a year under their belt, it's going to be different. They got the running backs they want. They got the receivers they want. they did they do jealousies and they're gonna be okay. I mean, what did the Raiders do defensively? They be like, other than getting a pass rusher to help out Crosby. I mean, what did they do defensively in that backfield?
I mean, I don't know why we're saying they're acting like Sky Moore, Miko Hardman, and Juju Smith-Schuster slow. They still have the threat for a home run every play. They still have that. And I'm not counting Andy Reid out on offense. This nigga got to the Super Bowl with Freddie Mitchell as number one.
No.
Theo got hurt. Like, come on, bro. Nah. Mm-mm.
I understand what y'all saying. And y'all looking at the paper.
I'm not looking at the paper.
Well,
I'm looking at the coaching staff.
You're looking at the coaching staff, but let's not dismiss the impact Tyreek Hill has on the defense. Miko is fast. Sky Moore is fast, talented. Juju is talented. None of them, with all due respect, none of them is going to command the attention from your defense that Tyreek Hill does. You literally has to play an entirely different defense because of him.
Again, let me ask this question. Does that make them more dangerous or less dangerous? Because with Tyreek Hill on the field, you're watching Tyreek Hill. When Kelsey's on the field, you're watching Kelsey. Now you feel like you can relax because Tyreek's not there. I think
it's a double-edged sword. It depends on. I think it depends on the quarterback, because, and I had this theory that how everybody likes to talk about teams that pass the ball more. It's a passing league. If you look at Kansas City and just look at the targets, they are 2 target heavy. Kelsey's gonna get 150. Tyreek gonna get 160. The next guy might get 70. So without Tyreek there, is it going to be a little more balanced? Is it going to come down for Kelsey? Or is Kelsey going to stay at 150, 160s? Everybody else fit in 70. You know what I'm saying?
I hope it becomes more balanced. That's what I'm thinking it's going to become.
You would hope, but that's just not the NFL. That's not these great quarterbacks. These great quarterbacks rely on 2 targets.
If it don't, then they failed on a golden opportunity. And you could do that. I mean, people have wasted opportunities before.
Yeah. But Remy says he picking the Chargers to win the division. Keenan is arguably the most underrated receiver in the league and somehow still top 10.
Yeah, if he stay healthy.
Absolutely. Tony says the Chargers are the team to beat in the West. This is great.
I don't give the Chargers shit until they actually do it.
I mean, I'm going with the team that's been in the AFC Championship game for the last 3 years as the team to beat in the West until somebody gets thrown.
Remy said you can't replace the speed. It took us 4 years to replace Torrey's speed, and Cheetah got a whole different speed than everybody else in the league. Plus, he thinks Mahomes is a tad overrated. Oh, man.
It depends on the way you rate him.
So who does X Remy if he listening to rank the QBs, your top 10 QBs, and let me see where he got Pat Mahomes rated.
No, I still don't think he's the top quarterback in the league. But when you start talking about young GOAT, junior GOAT, I'm not putting this man over Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, them all-time greats. I think all-time greats, he's probably tad overrated. Yeah,
I'm talking about right now.
I'm about to say in the league. No, he's the best. He's the best quarterback in this league.
The bottom line is he's a playmaker. He makes plays. Here's another bottom line. Most of the plays he made was to a guy that's now in Miami. So now we have to figure out if he's still that great of a playmaker. I like Sky Moore. I do. I like
Juju.
I like Juju's a good possession receiver. I like the other fast guy they got, McCole Hardman. He stretches the field.
Valdez Scanlon was a good pickup too.
Right. I want to know if they are going to be able to make plays consistently like Tyreek Hill did. Tyreek Hill made plays.
It is not
all
about,
the time.
It's not about that receiver. Of course, you cannot replace speed, but the most underrated shit out of everything that you're missing out is that offensive line. If he gives him 3 to 5 seconds, I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. He's going to get the ball in his hands and he's going to find the open receiver.
Sure.
That sounds good. But
But
still, before Hartman,
You put
like
too much money into that offensive line, too much money and draft picks into that offensive line to not have that be the focal point of why you should not be winning for the future. If that's the seeds, that receiver and tight end shit is going to take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean, and it goes to Patty now, like Herb said, they were too target heavy of a system, basically. Looking at two people. Now you don't have one of those guys. Scan the field. Be the quarterback that I think you are, and everyone thinks that you are, that Remy said is overrating him. Be the best quarterback in the league that can look at multiple targets. I mean, the multiple reigning MVP got sent home both years in a row because he looked at one target. He looked at Devontae Adams the whole game and did not survey the field. That's why he's sitting home. So now you take that away. You have an offensive coach. Like I said, he got Freddie Mitchell as the number one to the Super Bowl when T.O. got down. We're down.
T.O. Stop saying that. T.O. was the number one.
T.O. was hurt from week 14 into the Super Bowl.
I'll get that on that.
Yeah, for 14 weeks.
I'll get right here 14 weeks, baby. Come on.
For week 14 to the Super Bowl.
When he showed up, when he showed up in the Super Bowl, he was the best player in the game. Like,
right, but again, you got to get there. You got to
What's the
get
Chiefs
there.
record right here?
Come on. All right. Remy said he has Aaron Rodgers as the top. Patty is up there as well. He's phenomenal. No argument about that. But he was bad in the Super Bowl that they won. He was bad for 3 quarters in the AFC Championship. Very true, especially this year.
Sure.
Patty can do shit nobody else can do, but he throws a lot of Brett Favre type passes, and for whatever reason, he doesn't get criticized for it. He's an NFL equivalent. He said the difference between Deshaun Watson and Patty Mahomes is Andy Reid, Kelsey, and Tyreek.
And a bunch of fields.
Listen.
I can't argue that. I'm a Deshaun Watson guy. I can't argue that at all.
Listen.
Damn, I can't tell me Deshaun Watson guy in my division now. I used to like Deshaun Watson once upon a time.
Al, stop it. Stop it. We know you're a Browns fan. Just stop it. We know this. Listen.
Once upon a time, I liked Deshaun Watson.
The Brett Favre type passes that doesn't get criticized. I don't know how many times I've said this. It's interesting though, but it is what it is. In the AFC title game, a lot of terrible decisions on his part that affected the game. Mm-hmm. But what's getting lost? We're talking about all these weapons and airing it out. How many times this past season Kansas City could have put the game away if they just gave it to Clyde? How many times?
They tried that. Away, knocked it away.
Huh?
I said they tried that and Away knocked it out of hands.
Okay, one game at work. So they gave up after what? Week 3 they gave up. Week 2.
Week 2.
Never mind.
That's it. Yeah.
Week 2. That was week 2.
That's it.
That was week 2.
Clyde, you out of there.
Clyde, you fumbled. Nope. And his thing out 75 times again.
Right.
Then they start losing. Didn't they start losing like out the break?
Yeah.
With Tyreek.
Yes.
Like I said, they were looking at 2 people. Now, hopefully, he can add out to multiple people.
Andy Reid put him in that hardball doghouse. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. But listen, let's transition.
I mean, that Super Bowl he won, like you said, Damian Williams was definitely the best player on that field for Kansas City.
Let's transition. Y'all see it?
Let John go, please.
I know, right?
I didn't know. I was just trying to get my seat up, rolled it up.
Oh, you had something real good to say.
Oh nah, I ain't had nothing crazy to say. It was a nice little interview. I ain't got nothing crazy to say. Y'all go ahead and start.
Go ahead, Al.
I mean, it was a nice interview. It sounds good. All of that sounds good in TV and paper. And shit, actually, it is your time. But y'all do understand we are a sprained ankle away from Nick Bull being a number one wide receiver, right? All right.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
my God.
Throwing that shit out there.
Come on.
I'm just throwing it out there. Mark Andrews happened to step on a Lego on his way to the field. I'm like, all right, I ain't making it in. Nick Bull is your guy.
It's just funny to hear him say, that sound good on paper for Bateman, but he won't get the same benefit of the doubt. But he won't say that about Kansas City. What? About McCole Hartman and all them. I just don't understand. Look,
Who
here's
has
the
more
thing.
touchdowns? Who has more yards?
It doesn't matter. McCole Hartman ain't got it. McCole Hartman ain't got it. Valdez Scantling ain't got it.
They got more yards and touchdowns than got
Juju, what Juju got? What Juju do last year?
Than Rashard Bateman.
That nigga had TikTok dances. That's what the fuck he
Look,
had.
come on. Look, that dude's got to play.
Hell, he covered more yards on TikTok than Rashard Bateman did last year. So,
Look,
come on.
Rashard was hurt.
That's my point.
Okay, so he's saying it's his time. Look, let me say this. Not only do I agree it's his time, I think it's Prochet time. I think it's Duvernay time. I think it's Tylen Wallace time. It's their time. We're going to see. Hopefully, if Greg Roman allows them to do it, we're going to see. And the great thing about this show and the people watching on Sideline Talk, we're going to know if it's Greg Roman that's not letting it happen, or we're going to know if it's the people on the field not letting it happen. We're going to know. Because we've seen it in the past. If you open, you open. It's their time to get open. Willie Snead did not get open.
That nigga took it back to Willie Snead.
I'm gonna say it because look, we can blame. You can't blame Greg Roman for Willie Snead not getting no separation. We're gonna see if these dudes can get separation this year. It wasn't Willie Snead time.
Yeah. Every time you say Willie Snead, I had that Stephen A face. Like, it don't matter what route he doing, he can do the little jet. Niggas like, look at him like, fuck out of here.
Yo, Willie Snead was not open. We're gonna see if it's their time now. We're gonna see if they can get open. More importantly than that, I'm not worried at all. We had 3 legit pass catching tight ends, and one that they possibly turning into a big body receiver. I'm not worried. Everybody that's out there wondering about the Ravens receiving core, go look up Isaiah Likely. Go watch his film. Go look up Charlie Kohler's film. Go back, refresh yourself on Devin Duvernay's film, James Prochet's film, Bateman's film, Tylen Wallace's film. Go look at that film and see how they can be used.
Devin Duvernay's film got a lot of punt returns and reverses on it right now. That's all I'm saying.
And when you get done looking at that, remember that Gus Edwards averages 5 yards a carry.
Damn.
And then when you get done looking at that, remember that our other running back, who is coming off an injury, was having one of the most breakout years that you've seen from a running back in a long time. Not named Jonathan Taylor. Remember that too. Remember, we just got better on the offensive line. We're getting better. We're getting more healthy.
Well, his rookie year was better than JT's. JT just, he killed him this year because he ain't play.
Obviously.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I'm not worried at all. He said something in that interview that made me think, he was like, man, if we didn't get injured, we was going to the Super Bowl. I was like, I don't know. That's the only thing he said that made me think, all right, there's a little room for pause. Outside of that, I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not worried about this receiving core. We seen Prochet get open. We seen Duvernay get open.
Mm-hmm.
Who have we not seen get open?
Willie Snead.
I can go down that list. Willie Snead.
Seth Roberts.
Seth Roberts. Crabtree.
Jeremy Maclin. Shit, you want to go all the way
Jeremy Maclin. Let's go. Keep bringing in these old-ass receivers to try to, you know what I mean? No. I'm tired of bringing in these old guys. Let the young guys play. They on rookie contracts. Let them play.
All I'm saying is you might need an insurance policy. You don't ever want to use your insurance, but you're glad you have it when you have it.
They got an insurance policy. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. and he played for Coastal Carolina. Or
I'm confused. What you mean by insurance policy? Like
a proven guy, like just a proven guy, just in case the guys
you know,
that you want to prove it, that we want to prove it. I'm not against Prochet. I'm not against the guys, period. I'm against the coaching. The guys ain't the problem. I've been saying this since Joe Flacco was here. The quarterback ain't the problem.
I thought you was letting this go.
It's the coaching.
But this is what I don't understand when you say it's about the coaching. I don't hold on. Anthony Price says you bring in old guys because they're cheaper and the Ravens don't use wide receivers a lot. That half of that statement is true about bringing in old guys because they're cheaper. The second half isn't entirely true. Like every other team, just look at the numbers. Every other team that passes the ball, you're going to look at the Ravens system and say they run the ball too much. But when you look at the numbers, you got two guys, 150 targets, 146 targets. Spread the ball around. That's the problem with the NFL. They don't spread the ball around. They depend on two guys and run the ball. And if the two guys aren't producing, then it was a bad game. Look at it. Look at it from Brady to now. That's always been the case. That's always the case. Football is more than just three guys. Well, two guys in running the ball. Spread it around. Okay, Bateman was hurt, 4 games, right?
Something like that.
Still had over 500 yards receiving on 68 targets. 68 targets. He had 46 catches and 500 yards. Hollywood had 150 plus and barely went over 1,000. Like, come on. In a system where allegedly we run the ball 60% of the time and we target tight as it's not alleged. We target tight as more than anybody.
Well, they didn't run the ball last year because the running backs were hurt. They didn't run the ball as much
the year before?
as they did last year.
The year before is the same thing. Okay. 140 targets for Mark Andrews, 115 for Hollywood Brown. The next receiver, it's the exact same thing.
So why are y'all expecting that to change?
No.
We don't have Hollywood. So why are y'all expecting it to change?
No, what I'm saying, my beef is not Ravens specific. It's NFL wide. I've been saying that for the longest. It's an NFL wide problem because you get all of these great gurus. Andy Reid is a great coordinator. Bieniemy is a great coordinator. Mike Shanahan is great. Kyle Shanahan is great. The boy up in I can't think of his name in the Rams, he's great. Exactly. They pass the ball. They do this. They do that. Look at them. Look at the targets. It's no balance. Can you imagine how dangerous an NFL team be if it's more balanced? Tell me.
So I can't say nothing about an NFL team. So since we said it's my time, I'm going to talk about my team. My team and my offensive coordinator is not known for game planning for specific players on their team, on our team. With that being said, I think ultimately it's up to Lamar to attack who's open. And that's just what it comes down to.
You ain't see him game plan 500 screens for Duvernay and Hollywood against Miami?
You
game plan 500 He game planned for him a lot.
Tell me why his in-game adjustment was screens.
I don't know. I have no idea.
What you mean?
I don't know. Y'all tell me.
Are you being facetious or are you serious?
Y'all tell me. I don't know. I don't know. I know they were blitzing a lot, but I mean, is that why? Because I swear they started doing that next week.
Yes. Actually, and the blitz started before Miami because Cincinnati did it in the second half the week before. But it was blown up by Miami because they did it damn near all game. And a lot of the screens weren't executed properly. You see receivers, oh my gosh, it's a tunnel screen. The receiver, instead of going to the outside man, he's going inside and leaving the outside man free. Like Taywan, you're a coach. If you're blitzing 7, 8 guys. What's going to beat you?
The help coming from inside.
From inside, slants inside, especially if you're sitting at the sticks and sitting at 8, right? The
Correct.
slant is there. If the slant ain't there, it's a screen to get in your playmaker's hands.
Oh, you saying what's going to be me?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were talking about offensively. What's going to be? Oh,
Offensively, what would be
yeah,
that?
yeah. And then
So
you
that's
bank on
your
somebody
option.
missing a tackle or somebody breaking tackles. Yes.
And that's your two options. So if
Yeah.
you're not executing it properly, you fall into the defense's plan. That's just football. That's not a Raven. That's a football thing. Because teams across the board do it. They just execute it better. That's all that is. Now, what y'all saying is true. Greg Roman targets a tight end, the X receiver, and then after that, it's like, bruh, that got to change. The year we went 14-2, tight end heavy. Tight end heavy. It was like Andrews got like damn near 90 targets. I think Boyle had a bunch. I think it was Hayden. No, it was Andrews. Let me pull it up. I think it was Andrews, Boyle, then Hollywood, and then Hayden. In the 14-2 year, where we was averaging 30 plus points. And that's because of scheme. Right. Am I right or wrong?
You're 100% correct.
80 targets.
No, Project Pan is about to be our slot receiver.
But but that's the issue with him. Like if it's that's a problem. I would rather it be. In 19 it was Mark had 98 targets, Hollywood had 71, Willie Snead had 46. That's how it was.
Willie Snead was probably open 3 out of them 46.
Right.
and them three was probably screens.
Whereas the guys we have, with Rashad Bateman saying it's my time. With Bateman saying it's my time, like we all understand. Bateman fits this scheme a lot better than Hollywood Brown.
Somebody asked the question, do you think that the Ravens don't trust Lamar throwing because of his accuracy is bad? I don't think that Lamar is inaccurate.
Not at all.
I think that I think Herb brought this up last year. Lamar's just not taking what the defense gives him. And when Lamar takes what the defense gives him, we stay ahead of the sticks and we're a tough offense to beat. But I think sometimes he forces the ball. That's that, which makes him look inaccurate. When it's not inaccuracy, it's just him making bad decisions. That's all.
And to add to that point, I'm not gonna say who my source is, but I had a conversation with somebody very close to the situation, and I brought up to them. I was like, last year when y'all was rolling, if you look at the targets, it was more even. Mark had like 8 a game. Like within the game, it was like Mark had 8, Hollywood had 8, Sammy had like 7. Then you had like, Boyle, not Boyle, Pat or whoever else. They was winning, putting up a lot of points. Offense looking good. Then it started going from Lamar taking the easy stuff and spreading it around to 14 targets to this guy, 12 to that guy. The next person only had like 3. And they all was in dog fights and losing and looking inaccurate. And the guy said, that's how it is. He said it's the system is based on progressions.
Yes.
He said the system isn't, mind you, this is a person who's in the Raven organization right now. He said the system isn't like 2 reads and then Lamar pull it to run. He said it's a progression-based system. Mm-hmm. It's just at times, whether it be the line, whether it be Lamar just not going through his progressions, it's a domino effect. But the system is there for everybody to succeed. It's just putting it all together. And we have, like Taywan been mentioned, we have guys outside of Bateman who can win one-on-one matchups across the board. If you want to play spread, you got 4 receivers that can win one-on-one. If you want to play 13 personnel or 23 personnel, you got tight ends that are mismatches because they're big, fast, and can run routes. They put it together. This is really a mismatched team.
And Herb, what we was talking about when we game plan for teams when we coached, right? What was one of the most important things that I always said? We have to win first down, right? Like
Absolutely.
you hear me say that so many times because when you play a strong system-based team, the way to beat that team is to keep them behind in the downs.
Yes.
Like you keep them to 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, or whatever the case may be, because it limits them, not limits them, but it limits them to a certain extent. And that's how the Ravens are. When you get the Ravens to 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, they need a big second down play,
Right.
or else that third down is dire. And you can
Right.
feel that in the stadium. Y'all go to the game every year, every week. You can feel that in the stadium. How big is a 3rd and 9? Like how I know everybody's on pins and needles when that 3rd and 9 is up, like when the Ravens are up there, right? Like it's because the likelihood of them getting the 3rd and 9 is not, I'm not gonna say it's not very likely, but it's less likely.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It depends on who at quarterback. Because if it's 3rd and 9 and we like in the full wide receiver set, I said, well, Lamar getting this first down. If ain't nobody open, he gonna cut somebody up and get the first down. But that's the problem, to depend on that. The biggest thing with Greg Roman, in my opinion, is not his system. It's the play calling sequence. That's the issue.
I think we all agree on that.
That's the biggest issue. Like, you can't come out on first down and we see 12 personnel. Receiver go in motion.
Line.
And then we got a slant flat route combination with receivers in motion.
John,
and
that will go down.
On it. Like, come on, yo, we can't do that.
That will go down in history as the most WTF moment I've ever seen, bro.
What happened?
You know what happened? You seen
ran zone read on goal line. Like, it's like, bro, you just ran power 5 straight times to get down here, bro. And then you're going to run zone read here and get a 6-yard loss. Like, what is happening?
And then, you know what's bad about it? It made it even worse. You run zone read on a goal line when your center get hurt and put a buddy that was fresh out the bench. If anything, have him run downhill and block. Oh my gosh, I hated this. My gosh. Remy said it's a combination of things. Stubbornness from John and Greg, not necessarily Lamar's accuracy, but his decisions. He missed 3 or 4 wide open shots that went for turnovers versus Cleveland. Very much so. Very much so.
I think it's more his mechanics than his mechanics sometimes mess up his accuracy. When he's able to, he can throw on a run, but when he's able to sit there and carve you up and feel comfortable, he will do it. But when he feels like he got to do everything and he's frustrated out there and he getting hit every which way, that shit just gonna come flying out of there. Sometimes
you gonna do the same damn thing if you had that motherfucking tackle out there who just retired.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that shit just come out. Hey, he's down that motherfucker somewhere.
Villanueva retired just like Sam Cook retired. Sam told y'all at a press conference what happened. Sam said they called me and told me they were drafting yo, and I knew. And Villanueva knew. Villanueva knew like week 9.
You ain't gotta go home.
Week 9, Villanueva knew like, look, my time here is limited. I'm about to go.
Baltimore Ravens fans knew week 1.
Right.
We knew week 1. Get that nigga the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
Bro, I ain't care. I was like, look, is Andre Smith still on the roster? Because he can't be worse than Villanueva. He can't be.
He was hurt.
Yo.
Slow. Yo.
Anthony said, tell your head coach to stop going for it and just think winning the OT.
He wasn't even thinking winning an OT. He didn't even want to go to OT.
Right, he didn't want to go to OT.
That's what he said he was trying to think. Just think winning OT.
But my thing is this, and it's not been his things, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking last year. You got to switch up tempo. For that team that you have that's running people tongue out of their mouth with that speed, with that power, running the ball left, running the ball right, running the ball up in the middle, go up tempo. They're tired. They can't catch their breath. They can't sub out.
I agree.
They need to get back to that more often. Yeah, I think they did it. Was that the Rams game? We went tempo a little bit and had some success, and then think it was either Rams or
This year,
Packers.
or
Yeah, it was the Rams game right out of halftime, I think.
Yeah, it had some
Okay.
had tempo, and then it kind of some miscommunication there. All right. Anyway, what are you expecting from OTAs this week?
So
I'll go. I expect to hear a lot of good things about Isaiah Likely. I expect to hear a lot of things about Charlie Kohler. I expect to hear a lot of good things about Travis Jones. And believe it or not, I expect to hear a lot of good things from the little bit we see of Calais Campbell. I think Calais is going. We already know what Calais is. What I also expect at the end of training camp is we start talking about getting wide receivers and we start talking about getting cornerbacks that are out there still in free agency. And like the guy who commented said, I'm hoping that we just stay healthy. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
stay healthy. And are we officially a 4-3 defense? Because we got a lot of defensive linemen coming in.
It's multiple.
And we ain't got that bit of middle linebackers.
Oh my gosh.
You got Pat, but I'm sorry, Malik, it's been real. Josh Bynes, your old ass, it's been real.
I can't see who the name is. Whoever he said, I just called. I don't. The names don't come up on our comments. It just say Facebook user. So I don't know who it is.
That's Remy. That's Remy.
Oh, okay.
That's not me, the guy.
Yeah, and here just say Facebook user unless you have the Facebook up on your phone.
Oh, stupid.
I think the Ravens gonna be multiple. That's what it is. That's what you seen at Michigan when McDonald had the control. It's just multiple, and based on what we've seen, he going to blitz, but he's not blitz heavy as Wink. But his biggest thing is letting his pass rushers get home. He likes to get home with four guys. So that's something, we've been preaching, forever.
Mm-hmm.
Since what, the 20 plus sack season with Doom and Suggs.
Damon Suggs, yeah.
Since that year, we've been preaching, bro. Can we just get home with four guys? So, I don't expect to hit too much.
Who did Doom and Suggs have interior?
Haloti.
Yes, that's key.
Hold on, wasn't it Brandon though? I thought that was after Super Bowl.
No,
it was Brandon and Haloti. It was Brandon and Haloti. Yeah.
You gotta have somebody interior.
Because Haloti was only there a year after the Super Bowl.
Was it? And then he went to
Detroit. He went to Philly.
He was out of here in 14, maybe 15.
I thought he went to Detroit, then Philly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he was Detroit, then Philly. I think he went to Detroit in 15, if I'm not mistaken, or 14.
So around that time, it was Haloti and Brandon Williams. So, but with having guys like Travis Jones, like we understand what he can be,
Right?
As far as every down type of player and pushing the pocket and actually getting home from the interior. But just for OTAs, I don't expect too much. I really think they're going to take not a cautious approach, but really focusing on keeping guys healthy. It's going to be competitive, but it might not be as strenuous as previous Ravens camps because guys just got to be healthy.
True.
Anthony says Lamar is playing with his money. You can't keep running the ball with Lamar.
I got news for you, Anthony. That's what you're gonna see, sir.
Back to over.
I don't agree with that. I would never agree with that. You can't run the ball for Lamar. You got to run with the ball, Lamar.
I'm about to say you have to. I mean, he's a weapon. You can't really. I don't think you want to go into a battle using half of your weapons. You got to use the full arsenal. You have to. And that's part of his full arsenal, unfortunately. Fortunately, actually, for us.
Unfortunately, he was gifted to do that. Like,
right.
It is what it is. That's like telling. That would be like telling LeBron in Miami. Don't drive to the rim. You got to be a spot up shooter. Fuck. Going downhill. Like, you can't stop me.
Is Lamar gonna be there?
Huh?
Not
Lamar
gonna be
gonna be there?
OTAs. I doubt if he's at OTAs. He might show up a little bit, but he ain't going. I wouldn't.
Why you doubt Lamar be at OTAs?
I'm just saying he ain't been in nothing else.
Right. I wouldn't. I mean, he's doing work with quote unquote mechanics guru. I would just continue doing that.
Why wouldn't you go to OTAs?
I'm just saying he ain't been in nothing else. We've seen a lot of the other big name quarterbacks at their team stuff, and we just haven't seen Lamar at ours. That's all. At the voluntaries.
I mean, I wouldn't read anything into it. I just wouldn't expect him to be there.
I mean, Deshaun Watson was at at voluntary workouts. He took his team to the Bahamas. No spa days, but he did take him to the Bahamas.
No
spa days at all. That's how.
I want to know why, like, everybody believes Lamar's going to get hurt so easily when he take care of his body. He gets hurt more in the fucking pocket than he do when he rushes.
Right.
I mean, he got hurt.
Nobody talks about why, because Josh Allen is 6'6" and 2 whatever. Ain't nobody scared of him getting fucking hit all the runs. He got more rushing touchdowns than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a weak narrative.
He got hurt in the pocket with his ankle with Cleveland, and he got hurt the year before because the centers hiked the ball over his fucking head, and he got a concussion. He's not really been,
And for the majority of his career, he's a pocket passer,
right?
Who's willing to stay in the pocket, but he can get out of trouble, and that's what he does. That's what he's always been. Like, Lamar can get injured today. Like, you can't think scared, man. Just play the game.
True.
And for that matter, anybody can get injured.
Huh?
Anybody can get injured.
Yeah, like you can't think that way. You can't pay nobody that way. If especially nowadays, the way technology is and these doctors, I think, damn man, you come back from anything except paralysis.
Right.
Because people coming like David Ojabo had on shoes practicing today, working out. 2 weeks ago when he showed up for the little rookie camp, he had a whole boot on and on crutches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
We didn't watch Joe Burrow get his ass whipped all through the playoffs and shit, get hurt and had to play through injury in the pocket. So I mean, that narrative is weak. I mean, Deshaun Watson is the most hit quarterback. We don't know if he's gonna not be still the most hit quarterback in Cleveland because fucking Cleveland gave up 40 plus sacks last year with Baker Mayfield. So,
and you can say what you want. The Ravens shut Lamar down last year. I'm not about his ankle. His ankle was hurt.
I think it was a sure enough bone bruise though.
It might have been a bone bruise, but I think they shut him down. Yeah. Like if we hadn't made the playoffs, it's potential he could have came back in the playoffs. But they shut him down.
Remy said people don't think Josh Allen runs too much because he's white. Plain and simple. That's why people don't bring up Josh Allen. He had a ton of injuries in his career. Plain and simple. We get it. We understand it. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing about Sideline Talk. We gonna give y'all the real, unfiltered truth, and we gotta stop letting the national media lie. Like, come on, man. These little fake narratives they be putting out of there. Nah, we ain't going for that no more, man. Tell people the truth. All right, position battles. We can end it on this one. Any position battles that you're looking forward to in camp? Actually, before I do that, Jeff Zarebe posted earlier that EDC is, looking to move Chuck Clark. So I'm guessing Chuck ain't, really vibing with the safety moves. What's the best?
Go ahead.
All right, we get that. We get it. But what would be, especially like I wouldn't say compensation wise, because Eric always thinking the team gotta win out of a trade, so he gonna get something solid for him. But what team could benefit from having Chuck Clark on their roster?
I'm not really sure.
Not all speak at once.
I'm not really sure.
Fuck. Nigga, the fuck out of here.
I don't know what team can benefit the most from having him on their roster. I know what we can benefit from getting him off of our roster. We can get a cornerback. We need a cornerback, in my opinion. We need another corner. I do like Jalen Armour Davis, or I think that's his name. What's his name?
Armour Davis.
Jalen Armour Davis, yeah.
Yeah. But I think we need another veteran cornerback. That's just me. I think that we can get that in free agency, but what could we possibly get for Chuck Clark? A 3, maybe?
Bruh, we tried to trade Chuck Clark
Don't say it.
to Philadelphia for Jalen Reagor. The niggas like, nah, we good.
Just say for Chuck E. Cheese.
We tried for Jalen Reagor, and it was like, no, we're good. So unless you want, go ahead, just let him play it out, and let's get these comp picks, because that's pretty much all you're gonna be getting for Chuck. Let's keep it a buck.
I disagree.
You can trade that nigga to the Texans right now.
I think you're gonna get solid compensation for him. It's just a matter of where he gonna go.
Treat that nigga like Steph Curry.
Not an NBA.
Like, fuck that.
But I wouldn't expect any, like Tavon, you said Ravens need a veteran corner. And it's funny because it's like you and Allo on the opposite. Y'all have the same mindset, but on opposite positions. Al talking about getting insurance policy at receiver. You're saying getting veteran corners and going with the young guys at receiver.
I think we have a wide corner and middle linebacker need for me.
But I don't see no moves happening until after OTAs. At least after like the first couple of weeks of OTAs. Because that way you can see, you can get a feel of who's who, how quickly can these young guys translate. But as far as corners on the market, like we mentioned it before, Chris Harris will be solid. Jason Verrett will be solid. I mean, y'all might hate it a little bit, but I wouldn't mind AJ Bouye.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't mind it.
That.
I wouldn't mind Bouye. He can play.
I don't mind him.
Out.
If that nigga coming in the red zone, yeah, I don't mind that. He coming in the red zone, be good. And he anywhere else in that field, fuck that motherfucker. Hell no.
John, just because you said that, we gonna sign AJ Bouye.
I know. And then them niggas gonna be lined up against him like, this nigga? Fuck out of here. But in the red zone, I mean, he one of the niggas that don't give up touchdowns. But he gonna give up 100+ yards. He ain't gonna give up that touchdown though. So he can play in the red zone.
Hey, back to the Bateman interview. What did y'all think of Marlon's comments when he was talking about Bateman, when he said that when we were in practice and you went down, I was upset because like I look at the receiver room, you're the quickest guy there, and I'm losing valuable reps because you're not out there. How'd y'all feel about that comment? Like with Hollywood, with Sammy, with Bate, with Prochet, with Duvernay, he said, "No, this rookie is the quickest thing that we had to offer." And
I think Marquise is the fastest. I think he's the quickest. I agree with that. I think off the line, those first 2-3 steps, Rashad Bateman's very quick. Again, as I say this for the 19,000th time, I have not one issue with any of our wide receivers. I think Bateman is going to produce. I think he's very quick. I think he has great routes. and he was talking about the you know what I mean, he hit him up with at the practice, and he burned Marlon on. Like that's just we've seen that from Bateman already, so I know he can produce. Do I trust us getting the ball to him with a perfect play call?
Yes. If you could
Do
get the
I
ball
trust?
in Hollywood,
Let's say
perfect,
do you trust? I say do I trust?
so it wasn't no perfect play calls for Hollywood Brown.
He had a game,
Oh,
maybe 3.
Hollywood had damn near like 8, he averaged damn near 8 touchdowns a season, and he had a game. All right,
No,
cool.
G-Roll, about 3 great games a year. Give him a 3-game
That's
average.
crazy. All right, Remy said, "Tell you gonna be mad as hell when we sign Quintores Lopez Jones, and he taking snaps from Bateman. I would be hot,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be upset about that. You're right.
super hot.
My closet not. That's all I'm saying.
Forget all that bullshit.
I
I
would
love
definitely
Julio.
rock with a 11 Raven Julio.
Love me some Julio Jones, but nope, no thank
I mean,
you.
he ain't taking out from Bateman.
You say where you at, Doc?
Crochet, maybe Tylen Wallace. Yeah, all right, cool. But
Nah,
it ain't gonna be no Bateman.
nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good,
I mean,
Remy. I'm sorry. I'm good.
We
I
had
love
enough
Julio.
faith in Tylen Wallace. We had Sam Cook throw him a goddamn pass. That's what he got on the field. All right, cool. All right.
All right. Let's see. Before we get out of in that closet. In that closet? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Remy. All right. Let's see. We got anything else? I think that's it, man.
That's it.
Any final score for the game tonight?
Miami,
Oh, wow.
2-1.
Marcus Smart is out for game 4 as well.
Miami won.
Al Horford better have a 50-plus night. But that switchblade about to come the fuck on tonight. Tell y'all this shit now.
No Oladipo. I'm sorry, no Hero. No Marcus Smart. Oh, man.
I said I would be happy to have his jersey thrown in my closet with a Ravens number 11.
No, that's what you meant. But you said something about my closet will be happy. You definitely said my.
Oh well.
See, that's why Remy ain't on here no more. Because that's shit like that be happening.
Yo, Remy in rare fashion, man. Catch me. Wait a minute.
Yes, I would be happy to have a Ravens 11 Julio Jones jersey up there with the rest of the old jerseys that I have I can no longer wear.
You told me he's gonna be happy, and then gonna be cussing Julio out for not getting open.
Julio ain't never open. Just throw it to him. Here, go get it.
What you mean Julio never open?
Just throw him the ball. You know how many interceptions that man had to catch from Matty week on?
Oh man, but the Colts offense should be pretty good with Matt Ryan.
Yeah, they got
I'm
Nick
curious to
Foles.
see how that go. That's another team
to see how that goes.
That's another team that's like that's on the radar. It could be something serious if they put it together.
The only thing I'm interested in is right now is to see what's going on with the Washington Commanders,
bruh,
because they seem like they about to take some owners count votes to see if they're gonna
get rid of Dan Snyder.
Ship out Dan Snyder for all the allegations he got against him. And what's been interesting is they just bought 200 acres in Virginia that was like worth over $100 million. So they still thinking about moving the team to Northern Virginia. That's not that far from DC. So that's gonna be interesting to see what that's gonna shake off with that.
I came across a lot of DC fans within like the last couple months, and all I've been hearing, bro, if they move this team to Virginia, they said, "Herb, make some room for me down 95, up 95. Make some room for me up 95. I'm getting my Lamar Jackson jersey and all this and that." Like, come on, man. Come on. You don't move the Skins. I mean, Commanders. Already moved. Yeah. That will always be funny to me. All right, man. We definitely appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Continue to follow us at the Sideline Talk on Instagram and the Facebook group, #Sideline Talk, where there's a lot of debates, a lot of comedy. It's a whole lot going on in that group. Appreciate y'all. Follow us on YouTube at Sideline Talk _SLT and on Twitch. Just type in Sideline Talk. We're on Twitch as well. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. See y'all again next week.
Be blessed.